Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So it's been a couple weeks since I've posted a video, but I am back. So for this video, I am doing a paint with me. This is the first time I'm doing that on this channel. And I probably won't be doing much talking. I'll just have y'all look at me while I paint, have some music in the background. But yeah, we're gonna start with that. So I'm going to be doing something similar like this in a way. This is the painting that I did. I just printed this out, ripped the edges, that's some paint, Mod Podged it on, and then painted the rest of this on and Mod Podged it again. So I have another poem. I just looked up a love poem. This is the one I printed out. I already have my canvas painted black. As you can see, the paint looks different. I used a different black paint on this one, but for this one, I will be doing it this way. I have something envisioned in my head that I want to do. I don't know how well that's going to come out, but we're going to try it and see. First, I will be cutting the poem up because I have a way I want to do that, and then we'll get started. Okay, so the way I kind of have this envisioned, I'm going to cut the poem out either like 2 lines at a time or one, and then put them across like that on the canvas. I will have it ripped up like this one, so it'll still have that effect. And then I plan to do like 2 hands touching across the canvas since it's a love poem. That's what I have in mind, so we're going to see how that turns out. First, I will cut it out in a square and then cut the lines out. Okay, that is done. So now I'll kind of just see how I want it. I'll probably cut 2 lines out at a time. Okay, so I've finished that. It was enough, so there's 2 on each for the cut. And now I'll just start ripping and then kind of placing them where I would like them to go on the canvas. I angled it down more so y'all can see, but as you can see, I placed it how I wanted it. Now I'm going to do the edges, make it look like they're burnt. So this is the brown paint that I'm going to be using. And this is the brush I'll be using for everything. So let me shake that up. And then I'll only need a little bit of brown, so I'll just be using what's in the cap. And I have water right here. And I'll kind of just dip it in the brown, dip it in the water, and go along the edges to keep it. Okay, so this is, can't really see, but I only put a little bit of brown. I'm gonna dip it in my water and go along the edges. Kind of get it how I want it with the burnt look, and then this is how it'll come out. You can see, there you go. And so I just do that along the edges that I want. You don't have to do it on the whole thing. Some more brown. My brush is still wet. And that's kind of all you do, so you don't have to light the paper. And this is how it'll look I only did it on the 3 edges, and I also crumpled the paper to give it more of the burnt look. That's what I did on the other one also. And then put it back and do that to all the other pieces. So now that I have all the edges done, I'm just gonna go on some of them, and like how I have these spots on here that kind of look like coffee stains, I'm going to do the same thing, which is just a little bit of brown paint and then dip it in my water, just kind of splot it around. It doesn't have to be on every piece, and they don't have to be like really big, but it's just to give it something else. So this is what this one looks like. Just a little bit of brown on it. Again, it doesn't have to be like that. You can do it however you want, and you don't have to do it on all of them. I'm just doing it kind of to give mine a little color, and because I liked how it looked when I did it on the other one. Just going around each one, kind of giving it a little bit. You don't want to do too much water or it'll just look watered down, and you don't want it to do too much paint because it might get too dark. And you want to be careful, because I did print this poem out, so you want to be careful that you wait a little bit so the water doesn't mix with your words, and then it looks all mudgy and smushed. Okay, and that was the last one. So now I'm going to let that dry for a minute, and then I'm going to use Mod Podge and put it on, which Mod Podge is just like a clear glue. And I'll most likely use the same brush, just clean it off, cap this so it doesn't spill, then just let that dry and then put my Mod Podge on. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes. I'm going to just dry my brush off one more time. I already opened my Mod Podge. It's just white in there. There we go, you can see a little better. I already opened my Mod Podge, so I will. It's okay how much you put because it is clear. Just put some on the back. So I put some on the back, now I'm just going to put it where I want it. And then also put some Mod Podge over it. And now you just do that with the rest of what's left. have put them all on, I'm gonna Mod Podge the cover. I'm gonna Mod Podge the whole canvas so they all look the same. And as you can see, the top has already dried. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so that's gonna dry now. Clean off my brush because I still need it. Dry it off, and I put this under it because the Mod Podge is glue, so it will stick to my table. So just put something under it. Now I need to let that dry, and then I'll come back to finish it. So I'm editing the video right now, and I'm just realizing that it didn't record the part where I sketched out the hands and then painted one of them. So sorry for that, but it wasn't that good. You couldn't see the sketch anyway. And to me, the hands don't look good, but just want to put that in. And I will put the picture on this clip of the hands that I was trying to sketch out and portray on the poem, but again, sorry for that. I don't know what happened, but it cut off. But it looks better painted in. Please don't come for my fingers. I'm not that good at them. But again, I can always touch that up later. I go in with some black. But I do prefer it painted in than the outline because it looks better in my opinion. I just have to be careful when painting over the words. Now I'm gonna leave that alone and go with my pink now. Try to finish this off. Again, I'm gonna use what's in the cap. If I need more, I'll get it. Okay, let's see. So this hand definitely looks better in my opinion, but they're touching. This went differently in my head, but hey, what's done is done. I'm gonna let that dry, go back over the brown, and then come back over the pink and see if I like it a bit more after that. Maybe add something else depending on what it looks like after. so I went over both of them. I still don't like it that much. It's not terrible, but those fingers look trash. This is why I don't do fingers. Those look better, but still not a favorite of my paintings. I've done better, but basically let that dry and then put a Mod Podge coat over it, which it'll still look the same. It'll just be shinier like the background, and then that's it. And then I'll put it where the rest of my paintings are. Okay, so here's some of my other paintings. I have my flash on. So I'm not terrible, it's just the fingers look really bad. This is my art station. This was before I got my desk, and I just haven't moved everything there. So as you just saw, I am not that bad of an artist. It's just fingers were never my thing. But just let that dry and then Mod Podge it, and that's basically it. That's it for my paint with me. Don't know if I'll be doing another one. Maybe if it's just not something like this, because that was not good in my opinion. But that's the end of the video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more, please hit the subscribe button down below. Peace and blessings, my loves.